Hey everyone, January 15th today, first video of 2022. I'm going to work on my Christmas cactus today. I've been thinking about it for a little while, waiting till it finishes flowering. Thinking about the pruning that I'm going to be doing and repotting. And luckily, Nigel Saunders of the Bonsai Zone just posted a awesome video the other day working on his Christmas cactus, which is a really old, nice example. This one you can see is starting to form like a bark type texture at the bottom, and these bottom segments are starting to round out, kind of look like trunks. So this is the main one, the big one. These were just cuttings not too long ago. Maybe I'll show the background, the history of these plants. Anyways, I'm gonna turn this one into a bonsai, and there's one here and another one here that I'm just going to pot on their own and leave as is. Let them grow really big and be our house plants, and then I'll have the one nice bonsai started, and whatever I chop off of that one today, I'll plant some more cuttings and hopefully I can get some more. So it's just about finished flowering. These last two are shriveling up, drying off. It had a whole bunch of flowers about a couple weeks ago. I mean, it flowered for a long time, over a month. I think I took a couple of videos. I'll put those up if I can find them. Anyways, time to do some pruning and repotting. Thanks Nigel for the nice tutorial video you posted the other day. Hopefully I learned some lessons from that one that I can apply to this. here goes. Alright, time to get started here. Today, for the first time, I'm going to use a stone blade to do the pruning. I figure this is a good plant to start on. All the foliage is really soft. This will slice through it no problem. I won't have to use any pruners or anything. No like pruning motion anyways. I'll just be able to slice right through it. I've got a thin small end up here that I can do some kind of detail pruning with, and nice edge all along, nice sharp edge all along both edges here. It's broken down here at the proximal end. This is the distal end. I made this a little while ago during the course of biface thinning. I wasn't trying to make a blade. It's just kind of a natural byproduct of other processes. Anyways, I'll use that today. I should only need the one blade. These are the plants. The one in the middle is going to be my bonsai tree. The other two I'm going to put in these pots and just let grow really large. I would like to prune this big one first before repotting, but the other two are kind of in the way. Maybe I can just do that anyways. It'd be better for the camera, to do it after. I'm gonna repot the big one back into this. Maybe I can do the pruning after it's out of the soil. I'm not sure how many roots are going to be in this soil between all three plants here. Hopefully I won't have to untangle anything too bad. The roots are pretty fine on these. Anyways, you can see this one here is the one that I want. I'm going to prune away these two branches, and they'll be nice cuttings. And then there's 1, 2 kind of main trunks. It'll be a double trunk bonsai, and then I'll just prune it probably fairly short. I want it starts as 1 and then it splits into 2. It splits here, splits there. So I'll let it go as long as it keeps splitting into 2, and then once it stops doing that, I'll cut it back to there and then let it regrow strong. This is going to be a nice trunk going up here, and then this one kind of moves off to the side a little bit more. Got a lot of water spots and things. I just use tap water. A lot of salt staining and whatnot, chlorine in the water, calcium buildup. Anyways, yeah, I think I want to have better access. I don't know, maybe I can just do it now. I'll get the camera set up again and then chop these ones off at least to get it started before I do the repotting. Okay, so I sterilized this blade with fire, and I guess I can just chop it farther up for now, and then I can refine it later on. I'm going to take this one off first. I'll just use that very tip of this blade. I'm just holding it in my fingers like this. The pot's moving underneath, but it's going through. stabilize that pot better. See what I'm doing here. There we go. It's a pretty nice cut. I didn't nick that one at all. Okay, I'll try and take the other one off now. Let's try this little spiky part. No, I can't really get in there. Okay, I'll do it like, actually, I'll take off some this angle first. And then I'll come in at this angle. Nice. Okay, I'll take a step back now. Okay, those were pretty clean cuts. It's funny, you can see on the sides here the thin edges of the original leaf, like these parts here, but it's just thickened up right in the middle where the vein is, and you know, really starting to turn trunk-like, getting woody here. So I'm excited to see what this will look like after another full growing season, and it's in a pot by itself after this pruning I'm gonna do. And I know Nigel was talking about and showing the little spikes that he gets on his Christmas cactus, which are in bigger clumps of spikes, but I'm also getting these little tiny hair-like spikes coming out on the older part of the trunk. Not the oldest part, but then the next part, there's all those spikes. So that's interesting. They don't form on the newer green stuff, so I'll keep an eye on that. Oops. See how that develops over time, because that's pretty interesting. So yeah, I'll finish up pruning the main tree first. I guess I won't be able to get it on camera that great because these are in the way, but I want to prune it up first before I do the repotting. I think it'll be easier and, you know, safer that way. Safer for the plants. That's how much I took off. So got at least 4 or 5 cuttings out of that, a couple bigger ones and some smaller ones off of those. Alright, so getting back to this, it's the next day actually. Something else came up yesterday and I couldn't finish this. This is what those cuts look like from yesterday, starting to dry up. They should kind of fall off on their own. There are a few flowers over here, but I think they're kind of drying up. Yeah, they feel kind of, they probably wouldn't finish anyways. So just take those off and finish up the pruning anyways, and let everything focus on vegetative growth until the next flowering season. So I'm going to keep using this blade. There's not too many cuts I need to do here, so I'll work on this branch first. The light's directly overhead, it might not be the best angle. Going to work on this branch first. You can see it comes here, and then it splits into two right here. And then this one splits into two, but then this just is 3 segments in a row with no further branching, so I'm going to cut this way back to here. And I'll just take the blade, put it right through the bottom part of this. And it's so soft you can just kind of press it through like that. Nice clean cut. Okay, so then this one splits again here, and that's as high as I want this trunk for now, so I'm going to cut it off. I'm going to leave this bifurcation here and then take off everything up top, or above it rather. Okay, coming to the other side branch here, you can see this splits into 3. These top branches are growing out this way, so I don't really need this one here. I think if I left these two growing out that way, that would probably look better. So I'll get rid of this one. Now there's 2, but this one is just 3 individual segments in a row. So I'll take it off here. And yeah, I'll let this one go up to here. Alright, so that's this main trunk pruned up. Splits here, splits, splits, splits again. Same thing over here. So there's never any one segment that doesn't have 2 branching off of it. Okay, now I'll do the other main trunk. So this one's gonna have a branch coming out this way because it splits off right away from the bottom there, but it's just growing 4 individual segments, so I'll cut it back to here. Okay, then it comes up here and splits. And both of these have 3 coming out of the next node. So you can see the 2 in the middle here are, making it, crowding each other out in the middle. So I'll take out the middle ones for both of those and then shorten the tops of them. I'm gonna be really careful here I don't cut out more than I want. Ugh. I think I made a little slice there. It's okay, this one's coming off too. Maybe it's better to go like this. Yeah, that was good. Okay, so that comes off and splits. This one splits here. And then I'll keep this top part here and get rid of these two and this one. And here, I'll take off the tips. So that one looks pretty good. The other one comes up, branches off. I don't want that to crowd over here too much. So I'll take both of those off. And then this can be kind of the apex right here. I don't want it higher than that. All right, so I think there's the main one all trimmed up, all pruned up. There's everything I cut off of it. Quite a bit of cuttings to plant there. Here's what it looks like. I think that's a pretty good start for this future tree. I think it's a really interesting plant to turn into a bonsai, and I'm glad Nigel has a really cool one. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have thought to turn it into a bonsai. Anyways, I planted these as cuttings quite a while ago, a couple years ago, I think. About a year and a half ago. I'll look through my old pictures and videos. Anyways, now it's time to do the repotting. There's the big cuttings I took off yesterday. They're drying up at the cut points. Once they callus over a little bit more, I'll plant them. Maybe I'll prune them down a little bit more first, probably. Get them started as their own little bonsai in the future. So for these, I don't know, there's pretty fine roots in these, so I probably don't want to bare root it entirely. The soil's really dry, I haven't watered it for a while in anticipation of this repotting. So I'll try and get everything out as one piece and just kind of separate them if I can, but I'm sure their roots will be tangled up, so I'll probably have to just bare root everything. Anyways, here goes. Interesting. Look at how those roots have grown. There's just kind of like a mat at the bottom. There's some kind of, I don't know if these are dead roots or what, but it's like almost like a fuzzy, you know, mycorrhizae, or mycelium kind of feel to it. Anyways, I'm gonna have to probably disturb all that to get these separated. Maybe I should have done this when the soil was wet, I'm not sure. But anyways, here goes. Maybe I can just kind of cut this out of here, because I don't think this is ever gonna really develop thick roots like a nice, you know, nabari or anything, so I don't know if I really need to worry about what the roots look like. I know Nigel didn't really, you know, do his normal root training kind of thing. Everything's so dry I can't tell if these roots are still living or not. Maybe I'll just try cutting right through it here and there, and then taking out some of this bottom stuff and then just planting them as kind of blocks. One root's a little bit thicker, but I already started cutting through it, so there it goes. Okay, that worked fairly well. The soil was mostly just perlite. It dried out really fast, frequently. I watered it, you know, pretty regularly, so got a lot of nice root growth. These were just small cuttings, really not too long ago. Okay, now I'll try and cut through here a little more carefully, maybe. Hopefully that leaves enough intact root. I should spray these down a little bit with water until I can get them repotted and fully watered on their own. Okay, Okay, so I got the area cleaned up a little bit and I got these roots misted. When they get some water to them, they turn a slightly darker brown. So yeah, I'm pretty sure all these are alive. I'm not going to do any root pruning. You know, none of these are nice thick roots. So I'll just plant them as is. Yeah, okay, I'll do the small ones first. So this one, this extension's longer, it's kind of more flimsy, but we want to just grow these ones for size, so I'll leave it as 3 trunks. Can take off this one, and these 2. And then up here, take that, and the middle one. Okay, that's how I'll plant the smaller one here. Make sure that's standing up nice and straight. This way. Okay, so there's the first one. Get that watered up and put it off to the side. Okay, next I'm going to do this one in the bigger pot. I think I'm just going to let this one grow wild and see what happens. Not do any pruning on it. One will be a little trickier to keep upright. I need to get it a little deeper than that anyways. Okay, something like that maybe. Big pot needs a lot more soil than the other ones. Hopefully I mixed up enough. Okay, that's that one. Got it watered and off to the side. Yeah, that should be enough. Okay, time for the last one now. So, I'm thinking this looks really cool on its own. I think it's got a lot of character already. I'll grow it as kind of a double trunk, you know, upright. 2 main trunks. This one kind of goes off more towards the side, so I'll prune it going in that direction. This one will be more of an upright trunk. And then, you know, it already splits off into two main branches here. And then this one splits here. So yeah, that's a really good start for this, you know, pre-bonsai. Get it in the pot here, and it can carry on its life for another couple years in here. Might have to put a couple of stones on the surface of this one so it can stay upright. Might just need a little bit of help until it gains a foothold of roots in this pot again. It was growing in this pot for its whole life up till now, but there were two other ones in here and the roots were all mixed together, so now it's finally its own specimen tree and has a chance to grow well on its own. Alright, so here's the final result. I think this went really well. Very happy with the product here. This one I didn't really plant with the front in mind exactly, but I think something like this makes a pretty cool front to this tree. Got a really great start on that. And these ones will grow more in kind of clump styles, I guess. Let them grow big. Here's all the cuttings. I didn't mention before, but this pot here I made myself from clay that I collected and quartz that I crushed up and added as temper. I fired it in a mud brick kiln, updraft kiln that I made myself. You can check that out on my Prehistoric Living channel. Thought it was appropriate to put here because this was the first video that I actually used a stone blade to do the pruning. So that was really fun. Getting to the whole point of this channel, which is doing bonsai using prehistoric tools and, you know, prehistorically available materials. Eventually, I won't be using plastic or other modern materials, but until I have enough experience doing bonsai, I figure I'd give myself as much of a advantage as possible. Anyways, that's it for today. This was a really fun experience, cool video to do. Can't wait to see how this tree ends up in the future. Cheers. Thanks for watching. And here are the Christmas cacti, January 21st. There's all the cuttings. I just put them on paper towel yesterday and started misting them. How many? I guess it's been 5 days since I took all these cuttings. The two big ones, this one and this one, I took 6 days ago. I'm just gonna see if any of them form any roots, and then I'm gonna plant them in some bonsai soil. Rather some used soil, which is mostly that perlite and some other stuff. Big ones are looking good, or rather the unpruned ones. This is the big one. It's looking really good. All the cut points are drying up, and those ones are falling off already. So that's what it's left with. Nice healed up wound. Yeah, those started falling off real fast actually. On the bottom here, I've got some of my flint knapped products. Some bifaces. This is mahogany obsidian, black obsidian. This is a stone from Texas, I think. Edwards chert. Maybe it's something different. That's it for now. They're all looking good. I'll do one final video of all the cuttings planted up before I finalize this and put it up on the channel. Okay, this is going to be the final part of the video now. It's January 27th. It's been a little while since I took all the cuttings. Actually, what I want to do on camera is take these last little dried up bits. It's very satisfying taking them off. They're not really ready to go yet actually. Yeah, I'll leave that for later. Anyways, the main plant's doing really well. The other two plants are doing really well. Obviously nothing has started greening up and growing yet, but that's fine, it hasn't been very long. These are the two large cuttings. I put them in individual pots on their own. And then these are all the other cuttings that didn't shrivel up too bad, still viable. So I've got two kind of larger ones in the ends here, and then a few that have 3 segments, and then a bunch of the ones that have 2, and I planted them 2 per pod here, per unit. There's 3 single ones in there. These ones are all just single leaves. So we'll see how many of them take root. There they are. End of January 2022. This is what all the Christmas cactuses look like. Let them grow for the rest of the winter, and hopefully they'll take off in the spring and summer and grow like crazy, and we can do some more pruning later in the year. That's it for now. Thanks for watching. Cheers.